Welcome to Not Boring English. Today's story is about Adolf Hitler and how his choices changed history. This lesson is for CEFR level B1, B2. Use the playback speed if you need to slow the audio. The small voice that grew too loud. The winter air smelled of coal and dust. In a small room in Vienna, a young man sat with a notebook and a head full of plans. He drew buildings and faces. He wanted to be an artist, but life did not go the way he hoped. Adolf was born in Austria, and he did not have an easy childhood. He moved to Vienna to study art, but art school rejected him. He lived in cheap rooms and walked the streets. He learned quickly how to watch people and how to speak to them. He read many newspapers and learned to copy the strong words he admired. Then the First World War began. Adolf went to fight for Germany. He was a soldier. He felt strong pride and deep anger when the war ended. Many people, including him, felt that their country had lost too much. They wanted someone to speak for them. Adolf had strong words and a clear voice. He began to speak in public meetings. He said he had answers, and he used simple promises. Jobs for workers, pride for the nation, and a return to power. At first, only a few people came to his meetings. He used short sentences and repeated the same ideas. People liked hearing someone who sounded certain and angry. He learned to use gestures, to point his finger, and to shout at the right moment. His voice grew louder, and more people listened. He started a small political group. Over time, this group grew. They used posters, songs, and rallies. They blamed certain groups for the country's problems. The message was easy to understand, and it made scared people feel stronger. The group promised a simple solution to complex problems. Many citizens felt lost after the war and in the hard years that followed. The group offered hope in a dangerous way. In 1933, the political system allowed him to become leader of Germany. People thought they could control him, but he moved faster than many expected. He closed other voices and took control of the press, the schools, and the courts. He used fear, rules, and powerful speeches to keep control. He made laws that took away rights from many people, especially Jews. He made them feel like enemies. He made it easy for ordinary people to believe harmful lies. The country changed. There were parades and new laws. Some people felt proud and safe. Others lost jobs, homes, and freedom. The government built big propaganda campaigns. The state taught a single story about who was to blame for everything. In time, this story became a reason for cruel action. The power he had now let him start a great and dangerous plan. He invaded other countries and started a war that spread across the world. Millions of people died. The war destroyed cities and lives. Behind the war, the government organized the planned murder of 6 million Jewish people and millions of others who the leaders called enemies. These were not mistakes. They were decisions made by people in power. Ordinary citizens, soldiers, and officials followed orders. Some disagreed in secret. Some resisted openly and paid with their lives. Many tried to help victims in quiet ways. As the war turned against him, his power fell apart. Cities burned and food disappeared. People who once praised him now feared him. The few who stayed with him saw the cost of blind loyalty. In the last days, he hid in a bunker while the world outside collapsed. When defeat came, his life ended in the same underground room where he had tried to hold everything together. The aftermath was clear and terrible. The world saw the cost of hate, the cost of lies, and the horror of power without limits. People tried to rebuild. Survivors told their stories. Courts judged the leaders, and many were punished. The international community made new rules to prevent future crimes. Schools, museums, and books tried to teach what happened so it would not be forgotten. This story does not say that only one person caused everything. History is complex. Many conditions and choices helped a cruel plan succeed. Economic hardship, national humiliation, and old prejudices created a space where someone with violent ideas could grow. But one voice, once it became a movement, used fear and control to hurt millions. There are smaller lessons in the story, too. Words can build walls or bridges. A speech can make people angry or calm. A leader can protect or harm. Ordinary choices matter. When people laughed at small lies or looked away from small injustices, they helped a larger wrong grow. Today, people teach this story not to dwell on the horror, but to learn. People ask, how do we stop hate from growing again? The answers are not simple. Education helps. Open discussion helps. Laws that protect rights help. So do memory and honesty about the past. Citizens must watch leaders and speak when they see lies. Communities must support those who are different. People must value compassion more than power. At the end, the small room in Vienna seems like a beginning that could have ended differently. A young man who wanted to be an artist could have lived another life if things had changed. But he chose a different path, and his choices changed the world. The lesson is clear. Each person has a responsibility. The voices we listen to and the stories we repeat can shape many lives. Choose words that heal, not words that harm. Comprehension. Questions. Now, I will ask a few questions about the story to check your understanding. 1. Where did Adolf start his life as a young man, and what did he want to be? 2. How did he gain power, and how did he keep control of the country? 3. What is one main lesson the story gives about words and choices? Thank you for listening to this story on Not Boring English. Please comment with your answers or thoughts and subscribe for more stories and lessons. See you next time.